This is tea time. Yeah. Making a difference. One cup at a time. Tea time. So be sure to grab your tea, grab a seat, and tune in to Miss Liz. Tea time. Making a difference. One cup at a time. Tea time. Tea time.
Well, welcome to Tea Time with Miss Liz. That's right, it's evening tea. I think this is my first of the year of 2022 evening tea, but tonight is a special tea time. I have a local service that is joining me for tea time, and they are called Amhrs Cornwall, Addictions and Mental Health Recovery Service. 3 incredible guests will be joining me in the studio tonight. I will have the chair, the vice chair, and the treasurer of this incredible service that is in Cornwall. So I want you all to sit back, grab your tea, grab your wine, grab whatever beverage you prefer to grab, and let's just sit down and have an enjoyable tea time. I do want to put out a disclaimer before we do start and before we bring in the guests tonight. And then I want to also put out an extra warning that this show may trigger some people that are watching. So if you feel this show may trigger, I do ask you to watch at a later time for another show. So the disclaimer for Miss Liz's Tea Times live shows. Miss Liz myself is going live using StreamYard. Before leaving a comment, please grant StreamYard permission to see your name at StreamYard.com. Please be advised that the content brought forward for any Tea Time shows hosted by myself, Miss Liz, is always brought forward in good faith, however, may bring forward dialogue and opinions that are not representative of my platform. The facts and information are perceived to be accurate at the given time of airing. All Tea Time guests and audience participation are responsible for using good judgment in taking any action that may relate to the discussion. The content brought forward may include discussions for some what may be emotional at risk. It is significant to know that this show is engaging in discussion forms only to offer and inspire awareness and connection and is not providing therapeutic advice. Tonight we do have a service and they will explain how their services work. If you have any questions about this disclaimer or the panelist discussion, you may freely contact myself, Miss Liz, through my email at bookymissliz@gmail.com. Moving forward, should you choose to voluntarily participate in this show in any aspect, I welcome you. And should you decide that the show is not made for you at this time, I respect your choice and I will see you at a later show. So now I'm going to do a little intro into who my guest is tonight on Tea Time. And then I'm going to bring up the chair, Trevor Walker, and the vice chair, Madison Bennett, and the treasurer, Jamie Morrow. And then they will explain a little bit on who they are and what to do with the service and all that. So their mission is to be the front line for those reaching out, how the community promotes mental health in everyday life and remove the stigma surrounding addiction, to enhance mental health awareness, promote individual empowerment, and increase access to treatments and services for persons living with mental illness or facing challenges with addiction. To learn more on them, please check out their website, and I will put that up as we bring them up so you can find them. So I'm going to welcome the chair of Amhr Cornwall, Trevor Walker, to the studio, and I'm going to welcome Madison Bennett and Jeremy Morrow. So I'm going to bring Trevor up by himself and get him to share a little bit, and then I'll bring Jamie and Madison, and they'll share a little bit, and then we'll have some good old tea and find out what their tea is and how they serve to make a difference in the community. So Trevor, I'm going to bring you up first.
Hi Liz, how are you?
I am good.
Well, my name's Trevor Walker. I'm the chair of an organization that's near and dear to my heart, as it is to all of us. Help Addiction and Mental Health Recovery Services Cornwall was a long process to get going. But we've been up and running now since, well, not running, but up and incorporated since August of 2021. I don't know exactly what you want me to say.
That's good, Trevor. We will talk.
I guess I wasn't as prepared as I thought I was.
No, and short and sweet is good, right? We don't want a big, long story. So, Trevor, no, you're doing good. You're doing awesome. So now I'm going to bring up Madison and Jeremy so they can share a little bit on who they are and what they do. And we're just going to spill some tea tonight. So anybody who has any questions, put them in the comments. I will bring them up if you have a question for any of the members. And if you would like to know more about the services, you can reach out to each of these members. So I'm going to bring Jeremy and Madison up so you can share a little bit.
Hi, everybody. I am Madison Bennett. I am the Vice Chair of Health, Addiction, and Mental Health Recovery Services, Cornwall. I also work full-time at Pulsar Measurement in Long Sault, and I have 2 children. And this is something that I have wanted to do for as long as I can remember. So I'm really excited to be on this journey with Trevor and Jeremy. Thank you for having us.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jeremy Marion. I'm the Treasurer and Secretary of Help Amhrs Cornwall. I just wanted to say thank you to Miss Liz for inviting us onto your show and for all that you do. I'm looking forward to spilling the tea with you.
Well, thank you so much, guys. It is an honor to have a local service here because I truly want all of the viewers out there to understand that Miss Liz does not just serve globally. I do serve locally. So it was nice to reach out to somebody locally and see that they wanted to come on Tea Time and to get to understand what the TEA stands for. So I'm kind of curious on how AMHRS Cornwall began and who came together and how it came together and why you created this service for Cornwall. So anyone who would like to answer.
Who wants to answer this one, guys?
Trevor, did you want to go ahead?
I can try. I'm not making any promises. It obviously started with the 3 of us, and that's why the 3 of us are sitting here. And it's a shared passion that we have from shared life experience. Not necessarily all the same, all at the same time. We've all been through different traumas in our life and different substance use disorders at different times. Not necessarily all at the same time, but we all found one commonality. It's not easy to get the help you need when you want it. That's the big one. And that's where we're looking at bridging a gap. The gap being that there's no service locally between the hours of, if you're not a banker, you're probably not going to get a lot of help because 6 p.m., it's hard to find person-to-person assistance in this city, if not impossible. So that's the big void that we wanted to start out by filling is the overnight.
So are you guys open 24/7 on call? How does it work for the hours for your service?
Still me?
So we're not
Go ahead,
open.
Madison.
Sorry.
No,
So we're
go
not
ahead.
open
Absolutely.
We're hoping to be open we're hoping June. I know it sounds like it's far away, but we do have a lot of stuff that we're working on. So how it will work is, yes, we will be open 24/7, but we're going to be primarily open during the nighttime hours. We'll have on-call staff as well, or staff volunteers, I should say, with phones that you can call, text. That'll be available to anybody at any hour of the day. Not just because we're not open right now doesn't mean that we're not helping people. We do have people that reach out to us and see if we're able to assist them, and not because we're not open yet. We have the proper tools and connections that we are able to refer them to the right resources and start them on the right path. So that's been really good for us. But once we're open, we're going to have hopefully a lot to offer to the public. You want to add anything?
So are you guys based on volunteers?
You guys covered all.
I'll get to you too,
Pardon?
Jamie. Yeah, I'll get to you too, Jamie. So are you guys volunteers? Like, are you all volunteering, or is this a nonprofit? How is it working?
It's a nonprofit organization, and we all work full-time, regular jobs. And this is what we do in our off time: is follow our dreams to help everyone. And help, the word help is actually an acronym for multiple different things that have come up over time.
Well, I
can't
really like, Trevor, that you brought up that there is not enough services out there at nighttime. And that's usually when people are triggered or, looking for services is at nighttime. And it's sad to say that most services are from 9 to 5. And then after that, it's, suffer until the next morning. But sometimes that next morning we don't make it. So we need that service at nighttime. So I really like that you guys have opened that up for nighttime services. So Jeremy, I want to hear from you a little bit. Since we've been the ones communicating back and forth the most, how do you feel that this service will make a difference in Cornwall?
I would say that the service in Cornwall would make a difference by offering people a safe place that is judgment-free, ran by people who understand what it's like to need a service in those most crucial times. Often, as Trevor stated, services in our area close and don't offer services after a certain time, or if they do, you're put on a long waiting list. And being somebody who's had the experience of needing these types of services in the past, I've learned firsthand that often it's difficult to reach out not only the first time, but when you get to a roadblock in a service, it creates a lack of hope in services that are offered. And I believe that with our service and by being open during those most crucial times, people will be able to come to us and be able to get the assistance they need.
I like that you guys are mentioning good things, because I've been saying this a lot during my tea times, and especially for services in communities, not just Cornwall, but every community out there. There are no nighttime services. There are no, for outreach, it's all during the day. So it's nice to see this, because maybe this might be the change that we need to start seeing in services. And maybe you guys might be breaking that bridge and starting something that might cause that ripple effect of getting some night services, in the works, not just an outreach call, but actually a service that can help you. And I really like that you guys have all mentioned that you started the service because you have life experience. So you understand it. And I think that's going to make a difference as well, because I say that all the time as well, is that people that live it understand it, and you can resonate with people as well. And they open up more freely as well, knowing that you have gone through something as well, which your experience is. So are you guys looking for volunteers, supplies, anything like that? I did see something that you guys were looking for a few items in an email that I received, I believe. So are you guys still looking for items for your location? And are you guys looking for volunteers, and how does that work?
So I can answer that. I do want to apologize ahead of time. I don't know what's going on with our internet. So if we're cutting in and out sometimes, just please let me know. But we are looking for volunteers. Is everything okay with the connection?
Yeah, I just lost you for a second, but it's because you mentioned it.
You see what I mean? It's been funky. Every time you guys are talking, it's doing weird things, but sorry. So we are, in fact, looking for volunteers. I've been receiving some emails. We're looking for peer support workers, social workers, office administration, security. We'd like to have security for the nighttime, just one or two, just to give people a sense of security. And what other positions was there? I believe that was all. I believe that was all of them. But if anybody is interested in volunteering, you can absolutely send me an email. My email is madisonbennett.help@outlook.com. And I will gladly help you with that. I'm hoping to set up some meetings with everybody in the upcoming couple weeks and start going with some volunteer work. So that's in the works. And as of items, we don't need any more items. As far as I know, we were overloaded with so much support from the community. It was unbelievable. We can never be thankful enough. We had a lot of support from the community, and we have, as far as we can see, everything we need. We would need office supplies, small things, but any major items, we've had everything donated to us, which has been a blessing.
Well, that's awesome. I really like that. Go ahead, Trevor.
I was going to say the response from the community was overwhelming. I mean, one email and the office went from a big empty space with 4 walls to looking like an office and a space and somewhere where you would feel at home. It was incredible.
And that's one thing I could say about Cornwall. Cornwall is really giving. Once they know where they need to help and where the services are needing support, there is a lot of support. I've seen that myself with a lot of things that I've done in the community. So now I want to get into your teas, because I really want to pick some brains here, because this is what I do, is I pick brains for teas. So I'm going to start with you, Trevor. What is your tea? So if I give you the word tea, what is your tea?
Thought, emotion, and awareness.
Thought, emotion, and awareness.
So
Mr. Trevor,
We just lost you guys for probably about a minute.
No, I think I paused for a second. I just decided to take a break. Here's a tea break. Trevor, you just served your tea of moment, the thought process right now, and the emotions and the awareness. Now I'm going to go with Madison. What is your tea, Madison?
Oh, they look like they may be frozen from my end.
Oh, I think they are frozen.
Yes.
I think we've been jinxed because Madison mentioned that there is internet glitches. So until they come back, Trevor, share a little bit more on your process of the services and that, and how it's going to work and how it came about for you yourself.
For me, myself, it came from just reaching out to Madison, and I have been friends since we worked together, probably 5 or 7 years ago. So
sorry, guys.
That's okay. We had worked together briefly with a different organization that shall remain nameless, as it no longer matters. So when that didn't seem to be going in the right direction, we sat down and we had a conversation and said, maybe this is something we could actually do. Maybe we could bring this to our community. So we made a couple phone calls. We got invited to an exceptional community meeting just through one of those phone calls where we sat. Madison and I were fortunate enough to sit down with multiple groups in our community. And someone at that meeting reached out and offered to help us financially. So we went and we saw a lawyer, we got incorporated, we did it all the right way. And now we're at the point where we're looking to educate ourselves and make sure we have all the right licensing in place and all of the proper education that we need to be able to give back to our community. So peer support has become one of the biggest things the federal and provincial government have started to look at in both the mental health and the substance use field. So it's something that we're looking at getting trained in so that we can sit and support people.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate that, Trevor. Because for us to understand the services that you guys are releasing in June, we need to know the backstories of how it came, and how many people are actually willing to give you that peer support, because we need to understand that the community is behind your services and that as well, right?
And peer support is hard to find. I've spoken to somebody who is actually a qualified peer support here in Cornwall and came to find out that she's the only one. So we're a city of almost 50,000 people and have one peer support worker in the mental health and substance use field. One. So to me, that's a problem. So
that is.
And peer support and counselor, not the same thing by any means. Peer support is somebody with lived experience who's had a trauma in their life, whether it's on the mental health side or the substance use side. Somebody with real life lived experience that can sit and listen to your story and understand what you're saying. Having been there, a peer support will not give you counseling per se, but may be able to help you make some decisions based on what they've been through or what worked for them. Because what worked for me personally won't work for everybody, but it's a stepping stone on your journey. Just like what worked for Madison or what worked for Jeremy. And even I don't know their entire stories, their whole life history or anything, but I know enough to know that they're good people. And this is, we all chose the right people to take this journey with. We also have a board of directors now. We have four other people that sit on our board that help us make our decisions. We meet once a month before any major decisions are made.
See, so it's coming together step by step, right? And if you don't try, you don't know. And that's what I like about your service, Trevor, that you guys are bringing to Cornwall, is that you guys are trying. You're saying this is what is lacking for us when we were struggling. And I think that this might work for others because we know how it was, right? So I truly believe that it's going to make a huge impact in the community and that. And there we go. We have Madison back.
Oh my goodness. I have no idea what's happening. It keeps recycling on us. I'm so sorry. Everything was fine beforehand, though. We were able to all talk and have a good time.
It always
so
like
maybe we just it's I think that's Murphy's Law, right? If you don't say it, it won't happen.
That's right. Don't say it, it won't happen. As soon as you mentioned it, Madison, then the glitches started.
My God.
So what exactly have we missed?
And Trevor was just explaining a little bit more on how the services and all that were working. You guys didn't really miss much. So he did get a little deeper into why he's doing it and how he got into it, his personal kind of story and that. So Madison, I'm going to get into you now. So what is your T? So if I give you the word T, what is your T today?
I would say teamwork, empathy, and action. Because with teamwork makes the dream work, and without a good group of people with you, it's hard to get things done. It's a lot easier when you all put your heads together and put your ideas together and you come up with something incredible. Empathy, because you need to have empathy to be able to understand and help anybody. And action, because sitting around and just complaining and talking about something doesn't get anything done. So like my dad always told me, you need to take action and get stuff done.
And Madison, you just served a good strong cup of tea, girl, because that is actually what you guys are. You are teamwork and the empathy with the three of you, and the action that you're taking to bring to the community. You're serving a strong tea, girl. I'm telling you, good strong teas here tonight in Tea Time with Miss Liz. I'm going to jump into Jamie now. Jamie, what is your tea? And then Madison, I'm going to come back and I'm going to dig a little bit deeper into your tea. Oh, and I think we have a glitch again. It's that Murphy's Law, right? Don't say it. It won't happen. Oh, there we go.
I would say for my tea, I would say tenacity, empowerment, and appreciation. Tenacity, because just like my personality and spirit, I don't tend to quit or give up. Empowerment, I think it's important to speak about the difficult times in your life so that you can educate others on how to overcome these challenges if ever faced with one. And appreciation, I think you just got to simply appreciate the little things. And once you start to do that, you'll notice that life is good.
And again, we have another good cup of strong tea, and it goes with everything that you guys are doing. The alignment is all there. Tenacity. You guys are you're all full of tenacity because you all have overcome, your challenges in life. So you guys are sharing a good, strong pot of tea as a group tonight. That's what you guys are serving. You're serving a really good, strong empowerment. Jamie, I see that because I've been watching Jamie, besides the tea time and all of that other stuff. I've been watching you guys because that's what I do. Miss Liz watches everybody. And Jamie, you do empower people by sharing and reaching out, because without you communicating back and forth with me, to make this tea time happen. So the empowerment of making the choices, pushing forward, no matter how hard it was, you pushed through and you got through it. And appreciation, you appreciate being here. As you guys said before we started the live, you guys are really grateful for being on Tea Time. So I see a strong pot of tea with the three of you guys. You guys are sharing a tea of today's tea. And there's nothing wrong with that. That is a good thing. Because what we want to do is we want to show our communities and our countries and our families and our children that we are strong people. We overcome stuff and we serve strong tea. This is what tea time is. Tea time is to serve who we are, the purpose and why we do the things we do. These three people that are in the studio with me today, they are here because they have overcome something and they want to make a difference. And they're making a difference by bringing something different to the table because it wasn't there when they needed it. So for anybody who's out there that's listening, the viewers that are watching now and watching the replay, sometimes we need to start making different. We need to do different, and we need to bring that change that we want to see in the world. So Madison, I want to pick at your tea a little bit more. Teamwork. What does teamwork mean to you?
I'm assuming you're wanting to talk with me. Oh God, can't tell that.
And they're gone.
And I think they're back. I think they're playing around with certain things. Nope. There we go. Can you hear me, Madison?
Yes, I can. Can you hear us?
I can hear you, and you guys are a lot clearer now.
Okay, hopefully this is going to work now. I'm so sorry. So a little bit about me. I have personally struggled with addiction since I'm 17. I on and off throughout my years, and I've gone through a lot myself, but I've definitely come out the bright side, and I've been sober now for almost 3 years, and it's probably been the best 3 years of my life. I am beyond excited to be able to bring a service like this to Cornwall and help people that really need it. And just like when I needed it, I always wanted to talk to people at night. Nighttime was always a time where it was the hardest. Either, when you're alone, your thoughts start to creep in with you, and it's, well, what do I want to do? Well, you can't call anybody. You can't go anywhere besides to the places you're not supposed to be. So it's nice to be able to offer a service for people that can come to us, and we can all hang out at nighttime if they need to. We can talk, have other people come, and just have a lot of fun together in a safe space. And I'm just beyond excited to have this come to Cornwall. I can't even begin to explain. It's been a long time coming. For as long as I can remember, I've always wanted to help people. My parents, ever since I'm a kid, it's always been, you're always having to help everybody. I always felt like I had to save the world, and this is really nice to be able to do some small step for my community to try to make some sort of a difference.
Well, and you're making a difference for yourself as well, Madison, because you're coming out of your comfort zone and saying, look, I can do this now. I'm strong enough to do this. I'm able to help others because I've helped myself. We often forget how much we do help others. We want to help and save everyone, but we have to save ourselves first. And that's how we fill our cups. And you have done that because you guys have taken the steps and to get to where you are, look for the right resources, look for the right correct background, get the policies in place, get everything in order. It's not just a rush, open the doors, here's a service. You guys are actually looking at everything and aligning it and taking the steps that you need to. So that's really, really nice to see because we need those kind of services. Now, Jamie, I want to get into what brought you to do what you do? You're the treasurer. So does that mean that you take care of all of the budgets, the fundraising? What is your job for the treasurer?
So as far as the budgeting and finance goes, I do oversee more or less the finance, but it is overall a team effort. We work on everything pretty well all together as far as programs, policy, and all the background work. It's really an all-around team effort. And then what got me to get into this service was I've always had a passion for developmental psychology. And in my early youth years, I wanted to pursue that. And I moved out west to Alberta to pursue it and ended up falling into substance use disorders and never actually pursued my passion. Now I've been sober for, I believe, 5 years, and actually I've quit smoking as well 4 months ago, I believe. So one day at a time, it's one accomplishment at a time, but it's these little steps that I've been able to find my passion again and want to restudy and get back into developmental psychology and neuroscience and really understanding trauma. And I believe that in Canada and in our area and pretty well all over, it's really crucial to have knowledge of trauma and the consequences it has on somebody's life, as well as how you can help people who struggle with it, if not finding it for themselves, how you can offer it to others.
So I want to ask, and I'll leave this up to anyone who wants to answer this, or you all three can answer this. Do you feel that there's a service like this anywhere else in Canada?
Yes, there are
Yeah.
services like this elsewhere in Canada where that gap is bridged, where there are overnight services.
Okay.
I wouldn't say we're unique in that idea, necessarily just the timeline, but definitely unique to the area. That's my answer. You guys can go ahead with yours.
No, I would say the same. I think for SDNG area, I think it would be a new idea, but for elsewhere in Canada, I know there is some 24/7 services available.
From my understanding, British Columbia and Vancouver, they've been dealing with an opioid pandemic for years, and learning from outside sources is definitely one thing that I do. I enjoy studying and researching what type of outside services are offered that we can learn from. And I believe that there are services like ours out there that do a great job, and we can learn from them.
Absolutely.
But I like that you said that, Jamie, that you do your research, because I do that as well. I research everything to see how we can bring our services stronger and how we can bring our community stronger, right? By getting that research, because sometimes it might not be in our location, but it might be somewhere else. And by reaching out, and there's that empowerment again, is that you're reaching out, you're researching, you're empowering yourself to know more and to better yourself. And that's where your tea comes again, Jamie, is that you really want to make a difference in what you do, and it coming back to your passion. We all have to live our passions. We all have to follow our dreams, and sometimes people might say, well, why are you going to do that for? What's that going to do for you? Well, it's going to make a difference. If you guys save one life by opening your service, that's one life that you saved. We're hoping that you save more than one, but one life is all that matters, because we're all one person. So what message would you like to give, Trevor, as a chair of this service, to the viewers and listeners out there?
I don't think I've ever really thought of it this way. We don't do much individually, so
So true.
and really, honestly, the organization as a whole, the biggest thing is awareness that we exist, awareness that there is an epidemic out there, awareness that there is stuff out there that's killing people every day, but at the same time, awareness that there is a beacon of light, there is hope, there is help.
Yeah.
And we really, like you said at the beginning through our introduction, to be that first point of contact, one phone call is all it takes now. We're not asking you to make we're not going to say, sorry, we're not open yet. You're going to have to call this person or call that person. We've actually taken the time already with people and said, okay, so now that I know a little bit about you, well, let me make some phone calls. Mm-hmm. We want basically to be the guide on the journey is the way I see it personally. That's not necessarily the way Madison sees it or Jeremy sees it. We all have different visions when it comes to this, but as a whole, it's to be that first point of contact so that people don't struggle through, I have to wait 48 hours for somebody to call me back, or there's a waiting list here, a waiting list there. For us, there's no waiting list, but we can't promise what happens at the next step. But because of the fact that our doors will be opened, you'll have somewhere safe to be.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that, Trevor, because you guys are opening that first door. You guys, whatever happens after, it's not, it's you have opened the door, where before that door wasn't open for people.
And we still want to be there once if another step needs to be taken and you need to go somewhere else, that's scary as can be for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I know me, even personally, I had a hard time making a first phone call. And then when I did, well, we'll get back to you in a couple of days. Well, you have to make a decision at that point. Do I continue down the path I'm on, or do I wait?
Yeah.
And I think Madison really honestly says it best. The whole first point of contact, that thought process, she can give you a much better description of it than I can.
So Madison, what message would you like to give to the viewers and listeners?
I just want people to know it's okay. Like, it's okay not to be okay. There's no shame in, not feeling your best. There's no shame in, having those off days where you just don't want to get out of bed. There's no shame, but there is help out there. There's resources. There's tons of people to talk to, people who care, and just know that you're definitely not alone. And there's tons of us out there who deal with it on a daily basis. And there's always that time of day that you can reach our organization, any of your supports, friends. Just know you're not alone. And there's a rainbow at the end of the storm.
So before I go to you, Jamie, we have a comment that came in, and I believe that she's been speaking with us on LinkedIn. It's Wanda Bender, and she says, "It is refreshing that you are bringing this to Cornwall. Much love to you all. Please connect with me. I can volunteer sometime." So thank you, Wanda, for reaching out and joining us tonight on Teatime with this incredible service that will be coming to our location in June, I believe you guys said, right?
Thank you, Wanda. I'll definitely get in contact with you.
Now, Jamie, what message would you like to give to the viewers and listeners? And for anybody who's watching that replay, please push #replay and let me know where you're tuning in from. And if you're tuning in and you have a comment or a question and you're scared of it being not okay to ask, any question is okay to ask. If you feel that you need to ask a question, these guys are here to answer the questions. They are here tonight, so if you want to reach out, and if you feel comfortable, you can reach out after the show. All their contact is in the description as well. So, Jamie, what message would you like to give to the viewers and listeners?
As Madison had said, I would just like to let everyone know that just believe in yourself, and there is hope. Every one of us do go through some sort of struggle, and especially since the COVID pandemic, there's been a lot of, fear and question about the future. And I just want us to all know that together as a community, and if you can believe in yourself, you'll get through it. Struggles come every day, and it's all up to you.
Mm-hmm. And I like that. I like that you guys have all mentioned that you're the outreach, the first point. And you all have lived through something. You have all overcome it, So for the viewers and listeners that are listening now or the replay, if you are struggling with any addictions or mental health and you feel that you have nowhere to turn to, especially during the night, reach out to this service, reach out to Trevor, Madison, and Jamie, because these guys are incredible. And what you guys are doing is incredible. And I want to applaud you guys, because we need more services like you guys are doing. We need more life survivors to bring services and get that support. Like Trevor was saying earlier, there's only one peer support. We need more, you know. So this is where we open doors. This is where we communicate. This is where we say, look, this is what the community is lacking. How do we get more services? How do we get these people into our community? So if you know anybody, reach out. If you want to volunteer, reach out. You know, Madison is the contact for volunteering. Jeremy is the treasurer, and Trevor is the chair. So incredible team. And like Trevor was mentioning, they do have a board of directors. So I guess, Trevor, if anybody would like to know more about the board of directors, who would they reach out for that?
That information is available on our Facebook page, but they can reach out to any one of us. We're all always happy to talk to members of the community.
So they do have a Facebook page, and they do have an Instagram page and a website. So all of their information is there. So if you'd like to know more information, if you'd like to contact each and every one of these incredible people, I am honored to have you guys on tonight, you know, on Tea Time, and sharing your teas with me, and sharing good, strong tea, because this is how we educate our children, you know, our families, on how we communicate. Anyone can talk tea. Any age can serve tea. And this is what we do, is we serve tea. And this is why I wanted to bring you guys on here, because mental health is really struggling right now with COVID and with all the restrictions and laws and all that. So what have you guys noticed without the services even opening, with the increase of mental health in the community?
I personally could say what I've noticed is, I'm not going to say there's more drug use, but we've seen in the last year or so a lot of overdoses, and a lot of people struggling with suicide. Well, who have committed suicide, unfortunately. That was poor word choicing, but so it's been hard to see a lot of people we've grown up with, friends, people we've known, that are being taken away too soon. So I find that's definitely something that I have personally noticed without our service, since our services weren't started, I should say, before we started.
Yeah, even during setting this all up, we started to see, you become more aware of it, first of all. I mean, we've become more aware of our surroundings and stuff that's going on in our community than we may have been prior. I'm not saying that we were prior.
That's 100%.
It's brought to light the fact that there is an epidemic. And prior to COVID, the biggest push they always made when it came to what's the word I'm looking for? Users. I can't think of the word. I'm sorry. People that were using, they've always said you never use alone. And then both federal and provincial government came along and said, okay, nobody go anywhere, stay home alone. So that in itself created a pandemic, an epidemic of sorts, because now you don't have your buddy there to call 911 or to administer naloxone or to say, hey, are you okay? So more people were dying alone that could have been saved simply by leaving that never use alone in place. And as far as the mental health side of it goes, I've seen a lot personally in my own personal life. I've had family members and friends that didn't have anxiety before suddenly have anxiety of what's next, what's coming. Am I going to die? Is a family member going to pass away? And any mild anxiety they had was exacerbated by COVID-19 and the pandemic.
And what about you, Jamie?
Absolutely. Since the beginning of the pandemic, I've seen everywhere in our community and even social media, you've seen an increase of people seeming afraid of the fact that they're isolated, and this isolation has caused them higher anxiety, leading them to suicide and higher dependence on alcohol and drugs. And it's sad, but on the positive side, you've also seen that services like this podcast that we're currently on now, we're able to connect with a lot of people. Being isolated also gave us that push to kind of take charge and take action on how serious mental health and addiction is throughout the country. And we're now able to connect with people that maybe wasn't an option before the pandemic.
Well, I like that the three of you have said the same thing, you know. Users usually don't use alone, and with the pandemic, they were alone because they were restricted to visit, right? So we did lose a lot more people. The suicide had went up by 72% worldwide with COVID. That's just how many people have died worldwide, 72% from before. The numbers were high to begin with, but just to bring it up to 72%, that is extremely high, you know. And the mental health, like all the services were downgraded, you know, they were less hours and less resources to reach out to. So that hurt a lot as well. So now we're coming back and we're getting strong, and it's a reboot. It's a time to rechange and refocus. And I think this is what you guys are doing, is you're bringing a new brand, a new look of how we can offer services. You know, we need this. We need the difference. We need people to bring different to the table, bring different flavors, different blends, and say, you know what, that didn't work for me, but I can tell you that this will work for me. You know, and the person out there that is going through the addiction or mental health can say, you know what, I relate with those three because they have gone through it. They understand what I've gone through. You know, sometimes we need somebody who has gone through it to understand what we're going through. And I want to get any final words from you guys, but I want to bring up a comment that Wanda, because I want to show some respect to Wanda, because she's been communicating with me back and forth about your service as well, and trying to get to know more about it. And I believe that Jamie and Madison also worked with this wonderful woman. So, and I do appreciate all of the viewers that are tuning in and supporting. If your comment doesn't come up, it's because it doesn't relate to the subject, or we're really having a tough topic tonight and it might trigger some people. So I really don't want to get into a counseling session or anything like that. So if you do want to reach out to the three of them, you can as well. I do want to bring up this comment from Wanda, and I do want to bring up a few comments that are coming in on different platforms that are not coming into the studio, but are coming in on my phone. So thank you, Miss Liz, for bringing this forward to our community. I look forward to connecting with you all and helping this move forward. Thank you, Wanda. And yes, we will connect, and I do want to know more about your stories. I do want to bring more local services to the table. So thank you guys for being the first of 2022 on Miss Liz and opening that door for other services. My services are for anyone, men, women, or children. If you have a story and you're making a difference, this is what this platform is for. It's to bring awareness that we all can make a difference. No topic is off limits. The topics that we bring to the table may trigger some, so that is why there is a disclaimer for all tea times. We do have another comment. Thank you, Mel, for tuning in. I do really want to give the final words to these three incredible people, so I'm going to bring you up and I'm going to step back. Trevor, any final words that you'd like to say to the viewers? And that, and then
start with me.
And well, you're the chair, so the chair goes, and then the vice chair, and the treasurer. So I'll bring you up so that you can share anything you would like to, any programs or anything, any reach that you would like to make out, or any calls out. Now is your time to make it. So I'll bring you up front.
Well, I would first like to let people know that we do actually have a phone number they can call or text. Currently, it's 613-936-7339. We are available most times before 10 p.m. and often after that hour. If we don't get back to you right away, we will answer you, just because we're not fully functional yet and don't have the volunteers as of yet, which I'm sure Madison can get more in depth on after. we had said before, she's the person to connect with for volunteers. We look forward to bringing this service to Cornwall, and the only reason it's taking us as long as it has, I guess, is because we want to be completely 100% educated properly so that we understand this to the best of our abilities, and so that we put our best foot forward. That's about it.
Thank you so much, Trevor. I'll bring Madison and Jeremy up front so that they can, and you guys can see them. They won't be in a little box. I'm going to bring you guys up. There you go.
Hello, everybody. So I would just like to leave everybody with, first of all, thank you for everybody's support from the community. It has been amazing, and we really are looking forward to opening our doors. As far as volunteers go, like I said earlier, if anybody is interested, please get in contact with me. I am trying to get that all organized as soon as I can so I can start meeting everybody and going into more detail. But other than that, I just want everybody to know that we are working as hard and as fast as we can and diligently to make sure that we get this absolutely right and bring the best possible service that we can to Cornwall.
Your turn to go, Jeremy.
Yeah, no, they both said it very well. I'm very excited to be bringing these services to Cornwall, and as Trevor and Madison both said, we're working very hard and taking our time to make sure that the service that we do bring to the community isn't going to get deflated, and that we know exactly how we can offer support to every group of people out there seeking assistance. I believe it's really important what we're doing, and as Trevor said, we don't necessarily all come from a profession of mental health and addictions. A lot of it is personal experience, and we're learning as we go. So if there's anybody out there who can offer any type of professional expertise, coaching, or any type of advice as far as mental health and addiction services goes, we're more than welcome to hear from you guys. You can contact myself or Madison, and we'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely. I just really quickly, actually, going back on the topic, just really quickly about our board of directors, because I did want to give a quick thank you and our shout out to our team, because we are the three of us that are working, but we do have a really strong team in the background that helps us keep organized, stay on top of things, and help us make really good decisions. So I just quickly wanted to say thank you to Albert Renault. He works at Minimax Global Solutions. We have Matthew Fontaine from Job Zone Domtois, Rhonda Van Allen from the Children's Aid Society, and Todd Bennett, City Councilor of Cornwall. So I just wanted to thank all of you guys for everything, all your hard work, your dedication, and wanting to be on this journey with us. So thank you guys, and I'm looking forward to seeing what more we can do.
Well, thank you guys so much for giving that shout out, because I wanted to know a little bit more about who was actually on the board of directors. I believe you do have it on your website as well if people want to know more about the board of directors. I do have it up in the bottom. I do have a few comments that came in during the conversation that we were having. One comment is, Trevor, how long have you been sober or mental illness recovery? Because you had said that you had a personal story. So I guess this person is wondering if you're a recovered addict or mental health.
I did have a substance use disorder, and it's been about 2 years now.
Congratulations. And Madison, I believe you had said you were 3 years, right?
It'll be 3 years in May.
And Jeremy, is it mental health or addictions?
I had dealt with substance use disorder, so I was addicted to cocaine, and I had an alcohol problem. But it's been 5 nearly 6 years since I've recovered. And then as far as mental health, I've also struggled with that, depression and suicidal ideation. And all of it is a day-by-day process, but all of it's also going very well.
Thank you for sharing that. And thank you guys for doing what you're doing and coming and standing forward, because I know this is not easy for you to come out in the public, you know. And congratulations on all of your hard work that you guys have done. And congratulations to the board of directors for stepping up and bringing this service to Cornwall. And when you guys do open, let me know, and I will let everyone know, all the viewers know, how they can get to the service, how they can reach out to the service. But you do have a phone number. So Trevor, if you'd like to say the phone number again.
The current phone number is 613-936-7339.
Thank you so much. And Madison is the contact for volunteers. And Jeremy, you're the contact for financial situations, correct?
Courses,
We also have a
everything. Jeremy does a lot of research, and he's all looks into courses, and so anything that type of anything relating to that
Programs,
Jared.
policy, all the fun stuff.
Someone's got to do it.
And we do have another comment from Wanda. Congratulations for your sorority. My tongue's twisting here. Well done. Be proud of your success.
Thank
and
you.
All three of you. Woohoo. So Wanda is a lady to contact. She has reached out to want to know more about what you guys are doing and would like to volunteer for you guys as well. And again, I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight for tea time and sharing your teas and making a difference, being that difference that we do need, and just stepping up. You know, sometimes it's hard. I know it's hard to be different, but we all have to be different, and we all have to spill our teas. So I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in and checking out Miss Liz's Tea Time. This was a special tea time. Please remind, if you are sharing this tea time with any friends or family, it is a trigger warning tea time. We have spoken about some topics that might trigger some people, so please be aware before sharing the tea time. Also, the next tea time will be March 24th, where I have Lisa Carmichael coming in from the United States, and she's going to be talking about mom entrepreneurs, because we do have moms who like to make a difference as well. So she'll be coming in and speaking. She is a wife of a retired Navy, and she wants to share her story as well on overcoming her challenges and writing her first book and that as well. So we want to get that out there. And then after that, I have a man coming in from the United States as well, but he's from Chile, and he has created a program called Brave Up, which has a questionnaire that brings awareness to being bullied in school, so the systems can work within the systems without children having to come out and saying that they're being bullied without getting bullied more. So we'll bring that on March 30th on Tea Time. And then on March 20th, I will be releasing all of April's guests, and I have some incredible guests that are coming in April as well. There will be topics that will be a little wiki wonky, but that's what Miss Liz says. I kind of throw some surprise gadgets in there and bullets in there, because I like to keep everyone entertained. But we do have some incredible guests that are coming in April and in May and in June. I am booking for July, so this is how fast I am booking up. I have been booked since last year, but I'm just rearranging all of my schedule. So again, for all the people that are watching Tea Time, if you'd like Tea Time, subscribe to the channel, YouTube channel, reach out to me, Miss Liz, and see if I can make a difference, and I can open a door for you, as I've opened a door for these guys tonight. So again, Trevor, thank you. Thank you, Madison. Thank you, Jamie. And thank you to all the viewers and watchers out there tonight for your support. Wanda, thank you. Mel Odd, thank you. And thank you to the viewers who have not okayed StreamYard to put your comments in. This is why I can't put your comments in, because you have not given the permission to StreamYard. If you do want your comments seen, you have to give permission. Otherwise, I can't put you in. Again, thank you. And let's all make a difference by spilling the TEA and making a difference one cup of tea at a time. And I will see you March 24th at 10 a.m. for our morning tea time. And thank you guys for joining me tonight.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Liz. It was a pleasure.
It was such a
Thank you
pleasure.
very
Have a good
much.
night.